Hello, welcome in Slabbed podcast where the grades don't matter and there's loads of rules. So thank you for that, Green.
What?
We have a guest
That's
host
not how
this
it goes.
week.
Hold on. You can't just
Well,
say the wrong thing right off the bat. What?
we're doing the flip side this time.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
Professor Oak here today. We have our guest host, Mr. Mason from
Hello,
CardNAll
everybody.
Gaming.
Thank you for
Welcome
having
in.
me. I appreciate you even thinking of me to have me on. So I'm happy to be here.
Very
Ready to talk.
excited.
Ready to talk all about my favorite thing in the world: graded cards and slabs and grading companies. I know everything about them. I don't. I have no. But I got opinions. I can go ranty a little bit. I'm kind of known for some opinions. So
Why not?
why not? I can throw it out there. We can play
Why
games.
not? Yep. And this is definitely hobby talk. You know, it's
Definitely.
I know the name Slabbed. We definitely talk about slabs and numbers, and it's definitely a key focus of our collections and what we do. But I know that you're buying and selling slabs too. You're in there, so don't play coy. I know you're definitely involved in that market.
I dabble. I got a little experience in buying, selling, grading a little bit. So yeah, I could pretend.
Love it. So let's talk about last week's spicy topic winner real quick.
Yeah.
Let's go over that. So Greeny, Josh won. I won the week before. Josh won last week. Back to back. He said that 95% of resellers are committing tax fraud. Yeah. I don't know. You want to go first?
um, that's a heck of a loaded statement to throw out there. What am I supposed to say to that? Probably. Yeah. I don't even know if that's a spicy take. It's probably like 95%. It sounds probably about right for the casual collector person that sells things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It would make sense. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know if you're doing this as a hobby and you're just trying to enhance your collection by buying stuff and flipping things here and there. I really doubt you're keeping like really solid records on it. Of like, you're not busting out a spreadsheet and putting like what you bought something at and what you sold it at, and then whether or not you had gains on it or not. Probably not. So, yeah, I believe it.
Same.
I mean, I'm a business, so I got to do it. So I can't really hide that too well, especially when if you do it on eBay or whatever. But
You could. You could try. It just wouldn't end
well,
very well, I think.
if I sold on like Instagram, stuff like that, yeah, it'd be a lot easier to do it. But yeah, it's at this point it'd be more effort to hide it than it would be just to do it right. So I mean, for me, that's the way it would be. I don't know. What do you think though? What do you think? You think that number's right? High, low? 95%. That's pretty strong. It's a pretty strong number.
Yeah, I think what's confusing to me with it, which I'd have a hard time trying to calculate and figure out, is I don't know how many of those actually even know they're committing tax fraud.
Oh, yeah.
And
course.
like the degree of it, because yeah, we have the $600 limit thing, whatever, but that's just kind of arbitrary. Like even if you sell $50, resell $50 worth of stuff, technically you should be declaring it. Like any kind of income, you do have to declare, especially when there's profits involved. I mean, they want your money, they want your taxes. So there's definitely pushing in there with ignorance, naivety. I don't know. There's different areas, I guess, where people just aren't even aware that they're doing it. And I'm sure there's some people that are doing it purposefully in order to, maximize the margin and gains, which if you can get away with it, I mean, whatever. Like, I'm not risking it. I'm an alien. Like, I don't want to be.
I'm an alien. What?
I'm a literal legal alien. Like, I don't want to be deported if I'm not paying taxes.
Oh my goodness. So, okay.
I do have a spreadsheet. I have Excel sheet. I go in what I paid for it, what I've sold it for, and I don't do a lot of reselling. I do sell cards that I grade, things, I do some selling, buying and selling, but I wouldn't say I'm like a flipper or a reseller as such. Like I wouldn't classify it as that. I think it's more just like an online hobby.
You have a spreadsheet of things that you paid for stuff, and then if you sell it, you write it down as well.
I have purchase price, purchase shipping price, and then I have whether I crack and grade it, that price, the shipping price to ship, to get it graded, the shipping back. Like everything's in columns broken down. I know it's exactly what I'm spending, exactly where it's going.
That's impressive.
That's
a lot.
Calculated out, profits, losses. Like they're not all, positive. There's definitely some losses in there, but I'm overall net positive, which is a good thing. Like I feel good about that. But I'm also only putting in the stuff I'm selling. I'm not putting in the stuff for me. So if it was overall, I would likely be net negative because I have collection pieces too.
But surely you're not the norm. You can't be like, I don't think.
Very doubtful.
Else is doing it. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many people that are as like dorky or like nerdy about it as I am. Like I feel like a bit of a nerd for doing that stuff. But I mean, I work with data, in my role at work, and I enjoy numbers and analysis and that kind of stuff. I love getting to speak with my team about those things. So that transition into my hobby felt easy and simple for me to just do that stuff and knock it up, and I don't know, get like almost like a satisfaction from it, from like seeing those numbers, and also seeing profits. Like I love seeing it when it's green. I color code it, and when it's profit, I see a lot of green cells there. Like it feels good, right?
It's color coded and everything. Oh wow, you're way beyond. You're way beyond what surely the norm is. That's way too much. That's
Yeah, I'd be surprised if most people even like kept a receipt. Even like at that level, like even know what they paid for stuff. Honestly, I think you're probably right. But I do think he's right, and I think that's probably why he won the spicy topic. I think a lot of people
you think it was guilt votes? People were guilty and they were like, "Oh, he's right."
Yeah, I mean, shameless, right? Like if you can do it and get away with it, I mean, it's free money, but not for me.
What do you think?
I'm not taking that risk.
What do you think the percentage at like a Collecticon, if that stuff is tracked? What do you think about that? If we're really going to go after the boys, the friends out there, all these guys that have Collecticon, do you think they're all
you know what,
on the up and up?
That is interesting. You caught me on a blip there because I actually didn't break it down card by card on what I sold because I lost track. So what I did was I counted the final cash that I had, and I divided it from everything that I sold from my spreadsheet. I just divided it through. So it's like basically the same thing total wise, but it wasn't broken down.
Sure.
I can't imagine a single person in that building did that. Like I literally can't think that anybody else counted their money, divided it between all the sales at my level, like like a regular old Joe Blogs or whatever the phrase is. Like, you need to for inventory and everything.
We ran everything through our point of sales.
Good.
Charge tax, all that stuff. If we didn't charge tax, we accounted for that as well. But we did the whole shebang. So, and that's again just it's harder for me to not do that. So I'm just gonna do it and follow along, like, because I want to know the data and actual information, but then I'm not gonna actually keep track of that stuff off to the side or somewhere else. I'm just gonna run it through all my system because that's where all the other numbers are. So yeah, it's just more work for me to not go about that. So, but
yeah,
I would venture to say that yes, probably most people just, or even just like you know, they figure, hey, I got this much cash on me. That means I must have sold this much stuff. Here you go, boom. You know, so if there's any sort of actual accounting going, that's probably more or less what it's doing. Is that so?
I think it's like with police investigators when they're doing interviews with potential criminals, you know, suspects, and they catch them in a lie. Like they always know when people are lying because it's hard to remember lies and it's hard to remember like the way you spun stuff, and it's very easy to remember exactly how it happened and the honesty of, you know, the truth what it happened. You can say it over and over the same thing, and that's something that they'll ask you the same question. Not that I've been interviewed by police investigators, but I've seen they'll ask the same question 3, 4, 5 times in different ways, and if they get different answers, they know you're lying. I feel like if I tried to do what you were saying, where I was trying to hide that sale or whatever, I'd get mixed up and I'd like make mistakes with my books or whatever. It'd get messy. Yeah. So I could see that for sure. Yeah.
So you're all guilty. That's why you uploaded that. And yeah, it is what it is. You guys just proved his statistic is correct that way. So way to go.
Yeah, 95% of people that did a thumbs up did it on that comment too. So
wow,
correlation.
Correlation makes sense.
Okay, so I think that one's a pretty slam shut one for me. I know we talked about it for a minute there. People are definitely doing it, whether openly or secretly. Like they're technically committing tax fraud, but also I think a lot of people break the law every day. Especially in Florida, driving down the road, it's a 35 zone and they're doing 45. Pretty much every time I'm around, people are speeding. Like, that's technically breaking the law. You know, I think there is a lot of law breaking just in the world that isn't that much of a big deal. And I think a lot of people with this may not see an effect. So is it a big deal to them? You know, it's interesting subject for sure.
Are you an anarchist, Oak?
I don't know if I understand what anarchy is. Like,
are you
I
feel
like
rebel?
I've never.
Are you like somebody that doesn't follow the rules if they can get away with it? That kind of thing.
I am literally the exact opposite.
Wow,
I am like you're the rule follower.
You're the squeaky clean.
Squeaky
Wow.
clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't know if that's like a good thing as such. But yeah, okay. I'm pretty like I drive on the interstate at 70. I drive 70. Like exactly at 70.
Wow.
Like I'm that guy.
Wow.
Right lane, I stay out of the way. Like I let everyone get around me. But I'm that guy for sure.
Okay.
I'm not getting deported. I'll tell you. I'm not breaking no laws in America.
It always goes back to being deported. What's up with that?
Never. Oh my God. Yeah, they're crazy about it. So, but anyway, I'm curious. Do you have a spicy topic for this week as our first commercial guest?
Commercial guest. Wow. I do have a spicy topic, and it's I don't know if it's really a spicy topic, but it's definitely something to throw out there. I was talking to you before we started about that I got my allocation numbers for the Pokemon TCG collection box game, big fancy briefcase looking thing. And I actually got more than what I thought it was. I was actually kind of surprised. I got 25% what I asked for, but still a higher number than what I thought. So it may be not crazy rare, but probably still pretty hard to find. But I think if this product does well, that Pokemon is just going to make more and more these kind of like expensive premium products. I think they really learned with the UPCs, and they're kind of pushing the boundaries of how much people are willing to spend on these like premium products. I mean, it's in the name, right? Premium, ultra premium collection.
Very, yeah.
So I think this is the next step of like, okay, this is $400. What if we make $1,000 product? If we make a $2,000 product? I don't know. It could get to that point, but Magic does a lot of the same thing with these collector's boosters, and they come out with these super limited things that are even more expensive. Pokemon's kind of traveling down the same road here about, still making these super cheap cards, but just raising the price up because I can, basically. So that's I think this Pokemon TCG types of products, or these even more super premium products, there's more coming.
I got a lot to say about. I hope you win, because I have a lot to say about that. I think it's a very cool topic. I like that topic a lot, and that, yeah, I got a perspective on it. I really hope you win that one. Although I am going to give mine. So, yes. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna try and make this succinct. I'm not very good at being succinct, but I'm gonna really try. I think people care and put way too much weight on grading companies authenticating cards. I hope that.
Oh, that was kind of vague until you threw that last little bit on there.
Yeah.
And then you kind of understand where this is going, or where it came from. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Very interesting week for authentication. And I think there's just, I know I love Slabbed. The podcast is called Slabbed, but it's a hobby. We're all just having fun. And that's as much as I'm going to say, because I have a lot to say about it. So hopefully we'll get to that at some point.
Man, I have
a future episode.
About that, so
yeah. So
yeah, we'll see.
Let's go into the last few spicy topics we've had that we haven't discussed yet. So Shug Nasty said, I think it was last video, he said 95% of Greeny's spicy topics include an arbitrary percentage. Made me chuckle, because he does 95%, do that a lot. And the irony that he was saying the 95%, the same that Josh uses, I loved it. So yeah, I think for me with that one, you got to throw something out there, right? Like we don't know any actual percentages, but the 95%, that's just a fun one. Basically everyone, right? It's a toned down version of 99.
It's basically saying, yeah, everybody, but there's a fail-safe. And like, well, maybe not. Maybe there's a chance there's not. So yeah.
Yep. The toned down
little safety valve.
We caught you out there, Josh. We see what you're doing. Yeah, well, safety valve. That's a good way of putting it there, Mason. Good way of putting it.
Josh is. We love Josh.
Too much.
Did we even say why Josh isn't here? Did you even say at the top?
Josh is he is having his wedding anniversary getaway right now. So
that's nice.
Yep, he's getting the $7 hot dog treatment, and I'm happy for him. I'm excited. I hope he's having a fantastic time, and excited to have him back next week. But he's gonna love it. I'm sure he'll be listening to this at some point while he's by the pool.
I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't. So, but yeah, no, of course. Hope Josh is enjoying.
He was in Discord earlier. Mrs. Greeny, tell him to get off Discord and concentrate on you right now. I saw him in there messaging. Naughty boy.
His wife is lovely, by the way. You've met her.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, she's brilliant.
Great. Very well. So that's good.
You'll love mine too. She's fun.
Oh.
She's funnier than me. She's way funnier than me.
Wow.
She's hilarious.
Now I am looking forward to it. That's good.
Yeah. Orlando next year? Possible? Do you think you'd ever make it to an Orlando one?
I'm looking at dates. I'm looking at flights. I'm looking around a little bit, maybe. It could happen. It's in the realm of possibilities.
Been there. I get it. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one then. That Mexican hipster, Mr. Castle 91 himself, said, not so spicy topic, but people need to stop trying to show their preferred grading companies.
Oh.
We just need to let people grade and collect with any company they want, even if they're collecting the label or the card. Yeah, I guess that's spicy, but not spicy at the same time. I get why he's saying they're not so spicy topics. I think that's more of like a shake, right? Like, dudes, like, stop shilling companies. Like, stop trying to whatever it. Just grade whatever they want. But I think for me, it's people don't know what they want until you tell them. That's why marketing is so fantastic, right? That's why Tide is the most like adverts you'll ever see for laundry detergent, and that's why they're the biggest laundry detergent company, because they tell you we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. Buy us, buy us. So I think people doing that is the reason why some of these companies exist. If I had never watched a YouTube video about CGC, I wouldn't know they exist. I wasn't actively seeking out another grading company. You know, I wouldn't know anything about Tag or SGC or any of those other guys, because I learned all about them from watching YouTube videos. So
I guess it is a lot like Pepsi and Coke. Everybody has a preference, but not everybody's so like ravenous about, oh my God, I can't believe you like Pepsi over Coke. That's crazy. You're insane.
Right.
But there is a lot of that with grading companies and trying to fight over
feels like it.
But it's like with Pokemon in particular, it's very like, it's kind of like Coke and like Tab. You know, Tab soda, you know, it's not, it's kind of like not equal.
It's just not the same.
But some people do enjoy Tab, and people love Tab.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same kind of thing, same kind of, it's in the mix, but one's a lot bigger than the other one, and that's really just all the difference is that it's, you know what I mean? There's one has a little bit more market share, a little more, maybe like 10 times the market share, but you know, what Tab does isn't going to affect what happens to Coke. You know, that's not really, they don't really interact that way.
Yep. And I mean, you're still getting soda, right? Like, you're still getting technically the end result. Like, if you're just going to be practical about it.
Right. And there's definitely people that if you put them both in front of somebody and let them choose, would one be 10 times more preferred over the other? If it was, if they didn't really have a preference, maybe, or if they weren't big on grading cards, maybe, you know, if, I don't know, if you put a CGC Pristine 10 slab in front of me and then you put a PSA 10 slab in front of me and I didn't know what those meant, would I pick one over the other? Yes, I would, but that's just my preference. But yeah, that's kind of the take of that. I do think it's silly that it's so combative, right? Because it's very much, they're all sodas, right? It's all the same outcome. It's all the same results. Sure, there's differences, but if a highest level of grade is compared to another highest level grade, doesn't really matter what the abbreviation, the acronym that's on the label, you know, if you are buying a card just because you want it.
I think some of it is partly almost like a little bit like a fashion brand, where the things come in and out of fashion and people wear something because they are worried about what other people will think when they see you wearing that, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think some people buy certain cards or labels or grades or whatever because they want that card and they love it, but they want it in the best way to make it look the best for other people to see and like what they have too, almost.
Yeah, it's like you know, it's there's a lot of that, but it's kind of like a personal preference too, right? It's like a boxers of briefs, you know?
Yeah. You
don't have to answer that, but just making a you know, a similarity, just making a.
I'm a Mankini kind of guy, but that's the European in me, I think.
We can move on.
All right, E-Unit, Evan.
I can read them too if you want. If you want me to, I also have them in front of me. If you want me, or you can do them all. That's fine. It's your show. What am I doing? I'm just saying.
Go for it. You want to do the next one?
E-Unit 599. His spicy topic is: if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I don't even know if that's in context too.
Squeaky clean.
That's right. You wouldn't know anything about that.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've done something at some point. Like I'm not squeaky clean. I'm sure I've done something, but I always have really good intentions. I always try to do the right thing. But what about you? I mean,
If you ain't cheating, you aren't trying.
extra effort to get ahead. I don't know.
Like I said earlier, sometimes it's more effort to not cheat.
Yeah.
Or it is more effort to cheat. The other way, flip it around. It is more effort to cheat because then you do have to cover it up. Huh. I don't know. That's a weird it's a weird thing to just put out there. If you aren't cheating, you aren't trying. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything else to really go off of that.
Spicy. Yeah.
It's a spicy concept.
I think there's just too many areas that I could relate it to. It's vague enough to be whatever you want it to be. I think that one, I don't think it's too specific. Do you want to take that next one? I think that's a fun one.
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, because it's about you. You want me to just read it because it's about you? Okay. Fat Belly collects his spicy topic. Oak was my first never forget. Wow.
So this is actually a bigger thing than you might first. Wow, that's what she said. This is a greater subject that he brought up there.
I was gonna say, is there context here that we don't understand, or is there a story?
No, there actually is. So
Okay.
you may have heard me talk about it. You may have heard other people talk about it. It's been brought up in a few videos and live streams before, and generally in the comments and stuff like that. But I subscribe to anyone pretty much that I find interesting, whether they make videos or not.
Yeah.
Hoping that if they do make a video, I'll be able to see some of their first videos and like get to enjoy them coming out of the closet, the YouTube closet. It's kind of like an exciting, I don't know, like I want to support them. Like
Right.
I like
You want to be the first person that says, "Hell yeah, man, let's go."
Yes, I love that. Like, let's go. Like, get involved. Get in there. Like, do it. I love that. I love people in the community getting deeper into the community, getting more involved, doing like touching other aspects of it and stuff. I just think it's so fun. And Fat Belly collects. It was Fat Belly Gengar when I subscribed, but I was his first subscriber. And there's a few people that, there's a few people that have talked about it before. And I mean, make some videos. Like I love it. So
you do say that. You say that. And I think that was even a spicy topic one time. Is like you were like, just even if you just do it for your own record, just make some videos of stuff just to just document your time in the hobby and like what you had and things that you're interested in. And I think that is a very good take. I like that take. I think we could. And a lot of people say, I have nothing to add to the space or whatever. People say that all the time. I guarantee you have an experience that is unlike anybody else's. You may think it's all bland and boring, but just because it's about you, right? I think the day-to-day in a card store is extremely boring because I live it, right? But how many people are always like, Mason, do a day in the life thing? I was like, dude, it's just me sitting at a computer and like looking at stuff, for 5 hours. Like, you don't want to watch that. But people do because it's new to them. It's fresh. It's something that they're interested in, but it's from a different perspective, right? It's something that's different. And I think a lot of people would be surprised at how many people would interact back with them and talk to them if they threw something out there and made some content and said, hey, this is my binder. It's just all cool stuff I like, and then flip through it. I think they'd be surprised by the response that they get. And then obviously show it to us. Show it to the people that you otherwise hang out with. I think it'd be awesome.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, super valid points. I think what's like the cherry on top with that, with what you're saying too, is other people can enjoy it. Like you're sharing it, and like you can all enjoy it and talk about it. And they may have that one missing card that you're missing. Like, when I started sharing the Pikachus I was collecting on YouTube and talking with people in Discord about it, people started sending me ones that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Like for free. Like kind, generous friends that I was making were sending me ones. Brandon Baker today, I think I talked about it in Discord the other day. Which
Is Brandon Baker like the absolute best person in the hobby? He's got to be up there.
It's incredible. I don't even know what words I could use. It's amazing. Like it really is. It's fun. It's fantastic. Shout out, BB.
Shout out to Brandon.
He sent me this.
No
today.
way. He sent you that.
I just opened it like 10 minutes before we started streaming.
Just out of the kindness of his heart, he just sent it to you.
And he wrote this. He said, "You're the best." And he said, "Thank you for being a gem in the hobby."
Oh my
Look, it's for your friend.
Look at that.
I had such a big lump in my throat. I like choked up so much after all this time of like knowing him. That one like just wonderful gesture. I mean,
that's it. That's awesome. All right, we're gonna do this is a Brandon Baker segment.
Amazing.
So I'm gonna throw one out there too.
So awesome.
Brandon lives up in Cincinnati area. I don't know exactly where, but it's hour and a half, 2.5 hour drive from Louisville. He actually came down and came to one of our pre-releases, and he gave me one of the art of the Hisuian Arcanine with the trainer in the. He gave that to me. I said, "You have to sign it." He did the same little thing, this little BB that he put in your card, same thing, and he signed it for me. And he came and hung out.
We're on the same
went to Gen Con with me and Squeaks and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Had a great time. I did not expect him to be there. It was like a huge surprise. And I was like, man, dude, I'm glad because it's a good surprise. Heaven forbid it was somebody that I didn't like. But, it was Brandon, so I loved it. So just an awesome dude. Just a good guy to hang out with. He's great. He's
brilliant. He was he actually gave me. He was very generous in Orlando at the beginning of the year too. It's just, I don't know. I got nothing but good things to say. Honestly,
he was in my section at Charlotte.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And everyone that did recaps about Charlotte talked about how awesome Brandon is.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny? Isn't that weird? How people that are great people, everybody loves great people, and
so. I definitely relate to him. I feel like we're on the same wavelength because I feel like I idolize him in that aspect. Like I try to do giveaways, I try to give stuff to people, I try to give back, I try to subscribe. Like definitely like what's the word? There's a word for it. I can't think of it right now, but he's definitely someone that I think is just fantastic. Like that's what I long to be.
We could make bracelets to be. So make bracelets that say, "What would Brandon Baker do?" That kind of thing. It'd be a good success, I think.
He's a rock star, guys. If you see him in the comments, click on his icon and subscribe to him because I'm hoping for some content in 2024.
Oh, he'd be great. Another person that was the same way. Mertz. Mertz was the same way. He's like, "Oh, I don't have anything to add." And how much great content has Mertz made? I think it's awesome.
Fantastic. He's brilliant.
So all these people that were just like, sat on the sidelines and just hung out, came to Collecticons and just hung out and, interacted with us and showed us they were awesome people and are awesome people. Put some content out there. Get out there. And you might just realize that you enjoy it and that people are interested. So.
Yeah, I mean, valid point bringing up Mertz there too, because another like absolute just superstar. And when I start thinking about people like Brandon and Mertz and honestly Mason yourself, Josh, like there's so many people in the YouTube that and the Discord and everywhere else that I love and I enjoy speaking with, and I can't help but think that's a massive part of the hobby that I enjoy. Like just such a huge part of the hobby for me right now. And I think if that was taken away, the hobby would feel very different.
Right. Yeah.
It would feel like a very different place for me.
I agree. Yeah.
The cards alone are maybe like the fuel for the car, but I feel like we're the car. Like us as people are like the actual car and the drivers. I feel like the cards and the products, the slabs, that's the gas that's getting us where we want to go. You know,
Definitely, I agree.
little analogy there. Um, on a slightly different note, Dan, our friend Dan, Catch All Collectibles, he said, "Spicy take. We need a politics and religion episode."
Oh, no, 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 we don't. Not with me. Not this one. Nope. I'm not getting canceled. Nope.
He said that because of that episode where I think this was the one where I said in England, like, we don't talk politics, religion, money, that kind of stuff. You know,
Oh,
you
see.
definitely steer away, and that could get into a real spicy topic. And plus, I can't vote. Like, I'm literally a legal alien, so I can't vote anyway. So me talking about politics is completely irrelevant. My words mean nothing. So there's that. But I'm
Yes.
glad you said that. That was funny. It made it. I like when you write "lol" in messages and stuff. I like actually lolled. Like I laughed out loud. So thank you for that. Dan. That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm good on all that.
Yep. I'll listen to it probably. Like whatever. Like if people want to talk about it, but I don't have much to say on it, so I don't think it'd be very good if I did try.
Mm, that's fair.
You want to go with the next one, Mr. Host?
Pikachu. I
I'm
love
loving it.
Pikachu as well, man. Pikachu is fantastic. I love Pikachu. Um, he says interacting with Yu-Gi-Oh collectors makes me thankful for the Pokemon space. Now, if I may go first,
That's
um,
spicy.
I I throw it out there as a joke all the time, and it is a true statement. Take it for what you will.
Mm-hmm.
Don't read too much into it. Again, Greeny is a Yu-Gi-Oh player, so just throwing that out there too. Just saying that. But Yu-Gi-Oh players, absolutely the most difficult to work with in an LGS. Absolutely, just they're really picky. They're just hard to. I don't know. They're just. I better stop. But I'm just saying, Yu-Gi-Oh! I understand where Pikachu's coming from because this is very much a. I agree. I concur. It is a feeling that I share with Pikachu is that, yeah, they can be kind of difficult to work with. And yeah, Pokemon folks, pretty laid back, pretty easy going. And I think that does speak to the types of people that are attracted by Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic. Insert whatever card game. It doesn't matter what it is, but we're all just collecting cutesy little animals, right? Like, so it's just like I feel like that's just more attractive to people that are kind of more mellow, kind of more even keeled, maybe a little bit, or have kids or enjoy the hobby with their kids and their family. So I think that has a lot to do with it. A lot of teens, 20-somethings in like the Yu-Gi-Oh kind of space where they're they're little, not as mature out there. So I think that has a lot to do with it, for sure. And I understand where he's coming from.
How do you think Yu-Gi-Oh collectors feel about Yu-Gi-Oh collectors? Do you feel like they have a little bit of a feeling of like what you're saying about each other?
Maybe. I don't know. Now, players versus collectors, that might be a different thing too. That might be a different thing entirely.
Oh yeah,
but
that's a good point.
There's definitely people that are out there collecting Yu-Gi-Oh that probably hate where the game's at now, or hate to play the game in its current state. In fact, I know that's a thing. But yeah, I bet they're also kind of like, man, this is some difficult people to work with sometimes. And there is that in Pokemon too. I'm not saying like we're all just perfect and easygoing, and but I think there is just by the nature of what Pokemon is and what it embraces, and that there's probably a lot of that behind why that's the case for Pokemon in particular.
Is Yu-Gi-Oh a little more complicated to play? Do you feel like there's almost a little part of this is, I don't know, maybe what the word would be, like bravado or whatever. Like, you know, we're playing a better game. Like, you got to be smart to play this game or anything like that. Like an attitude about it.
I didn't think of it like that. Kind of, maybe. I think players in particular, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a lot of interactions. There's trap cards and things like that that you can, like, haha, like you can really like dick on people if you have the right cards, you know, in Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. So I guess that maybe that is just part of the attractiveness of it, is like getting to screw over your opponent. In Pokemon, there is no card interactions like that. There's no way for me to stop your Pokemon from attacking or something. There's
give and take kind of
play, but nothing that's literally you just surprise somebody with, you know. That could have something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't. But yeah.
I love it though. I've seen a lot of really cool Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In fact,
yeah,
I have one that I graded, and it's honestly it's one of my favorite artworks. Like
Yu-Gi-Oh is very what's the word? It's kind of on the nose with how jokey and fun that they make it, right? They're kind of their jokes are very obvious, and they're kind of like they embrace like the quirkiness of it, which I think is cool. I can't appreciate like if something's a meme that they really go and they're like, yeah, this is a joke, yeah, and we're gonna go all the way with it. So I do appreciate that with Yu-Gi-Oh. So it is a little more mature in that way. I think is that they're just like, yeah, sometimes we just make stuff and it's a joke.
Yeah, deal with it. And I can't see Pokemon ever doing something like that. It's like not to that level.
Not unless like avert. Obviously, like Yu-Gi-Oh will make something and it's alluding to something else, right? It's like a Mad Magazine version of a card, right?
Yeah,
it's like a Pokemon card sometimes, but it's like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? Pokemon would never, be like that. They would never make like a card that referenced like a Yu-Gi-Oh character or something like that. You know, they would never do that. So,
yeah, I've seen some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'm like, what's happening? Like, I don't know what's going on in this artwork.
Is Yu-Gi-Oh like the bad boy of TCGs? Is that you think that's?
I think
that'd be a fair thing to say.
Yeah, the anarchist,
kind of like a aggressive kind of. I don't aggressive. Not aggressive is kind of like not the right word, but
no,
definitely more like
attitude. I feel like it has attitude.
It's got a little spunk to it, a little spicy. Yeah. Spiciest TCG is Yu-Gi-Oh. How about that for a spicy topic? But yeah, I get what Drew's saying. I can get down with that. So
this next one, I want to relate back to you, so I'm going to say it because I do have something to say on this. Doodles in the Membrane, shout out Doodles, another superstar.
Yeah.
Said trainer character rares and other cards that have trainers with Pokemon interacting in the real world are undervalued. They are liked by multiple collectors that focus just on trainers or just Pokemon. I distinctly remember not too long ago, like we're talking within weeks, you talked in a video, as I remember listening, and I was looking, and you were going through TCG Player, and you were looking at the cards of like alt arts and trainer gallery cards, and you were saying like, how is this one like $3? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, how is that one $3? Like, I was so infatuated in that video. I literally stopped what I was doing and I was watching you talk about these artworks, and I was like, oh my God, it's not just me. Like Mason's saying exactly what I'm thinking. And you were talking about the Pikachu and like why is this so cheap kind of thing. And
Doodles in the Membrane is saying the exact same thing too. I think that's
right.
It's I think you even said in the video, it's a blatantly obvious play because anybody that's like really into this stuff looks at that and they're like, they appreciate it. Like, damn, that's
amazing.
Great card. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like, everything you were saying in there, you were talking, I mean, even some of the Pokemon that I don't even really like that much, those artworks, I was like, this is literally art. Like, it's artistic, and it's not just a depiction of that Pokemon. They made it to tell a story. Like, stuff is happening, and there's like emotion, and there's almost like atmosphere. I think would be the
atmosphere
way to use.
Absolutely is the word for it,
right? Like, there's like an atmosphere in there, and you're showing these cards, and Doodles are saying the same thing. Like they're undervalued. I cannot understand why some of them are so cheap. When you think back to the amazing rares, amazing. Like they look fantastic, and
Yeah.
I could see them being kind of undervalued. But when you look at that compared to what we're talking about now, with these trainer gallery type cards, worlds apart. I mean, these are insane, and the price points they're at just feel ridiculous to me. Like so cheap.
Yeah, it's like you said, it adds there's more to it than just the art and just the Pokemon there. And I kind of throw it back, and I think of this all the time. Why Pokemon doesn't make like the gym heroes, where they had like Brock's Rhyhorn and stuff. Like that's basically what those cards are when they put a trainer in, and that's basically like that could be like whoever's Pokemon. They could make that the title of the card and be like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Why they've never gone back to like the gyms, and the Versus series had the same kind of thing, where it's like that generation that had again that gym leader or Pokemon trainer Pokemon. But since that point, they've never done it again. Ash's Greninja, I think, was the last thing that had like somebody's Pokemon, right? I think that was the last thing. And even that was like not it was a promo. It wasn't like they didn't make a whole set of it. And I really thought when Champion's Path came out, because they had like all the gym leaders from Gen 8, which how have you not played Gen 8? How have you not played Sword and Shield? That's crazy to me. It's literally an English world from the UK. How have you not played that?
I'm the worst. Yeah, it's so funny. I literally sent an offer to a guy like 2 hours ago on eBay for it. Unless you have a copy, I'll just buy it from you. Yeah, I need it.
We'll talk about it. Anyways, I was making a point. I thought when they did Champion's Path, that's what they were going to do. I thought that was the whole like the gimmick they were going to go for. It's like like Nessa's Starmie or whatever thing. I thought that was what it's going to be. I thought it would be really cool. But ended up it was just being a Charizard set. Whoops. But how cool would that have been though? Like to have a Champion's Path and have like, or even like for like a Masters set, have like where they have all the characters and like have
the champions.
All the champions and all that, and have a cool like kind of like throwback set, kind of like what like a shiny vault or a shiny set would be, but they have all those freaking trainers and stuff on it. That's like their cards. How sick would that be? That'd be insane.
I don't know how I didn't think of that until you said it. Like that hadn't even crossed my brain, crossed my mind.
But I think that's, I don't know, that's another thing that like Pokemon has like in their back pocket. That's just like, all right, if you want to really get somebody going, something really cool, throw out and have this Cynthia's Garchomp and have like a sick ass cool card. They can do it.
And the artwork. Yeah, I mean that combined with these amazing artworks that they're knocking out at the moment. I mean, some of these pictures, I'm reading the picture instead of reading the text. Like I literally, you got to read it. And like, what's happening here? What are they doing? Like, what's going on? It's like telling a story in my head. I'm imagining that happening. I just love it. I'm in love with them.
Yeah,
I
you think of like think of like the Alt Art Machamp, right? Such an expressive card, right? Where he's carrying the stuff through the town and walking through, going through.
Brilliant.
That card is absolutely doo-doo to play. It's not a playable card. There's no reason for anybody to want that card, from like a player standpoint.
No.
That is a collector's card. And say what you want, they may have been manipulated or whatever, but the card's still expensive. That card is still very expensive. And why? Because it tells a cool story. It's a cool,
brilliant
atmosphere to it. It's a good looking card. It's beautiful.
Very unique, that one too. I remember the first time I saw it, someone showed it on YouTube, and I was like, "This is new. I've never seen one like this. This is cool."
Is that the same artist that did the new Mew from 151?
Kind
of feels very similar, right? I don't know if it is or not, but again, very cutesy, very cool, like a lot of atmosphere. And the Mew's right up he's way up in the corner. He's like just hanging out. But it's all about the world building that they did in the card, right? That people love that art so much. It's It's really cool.
Yeah. A simple but effective one like that too is Sao Sao's Espion with the books floating around the room. Like that one, I mean, just
amazing. Cool. Yeah. And
no
that's
worries.
what it's so crazy that when you think of, if you get nostalgic for Pokemon, right? And you're like, I remember like standing at the bus stop and like, damn, if I had an Arcanine, I wouldn't have to ride the bus. How sick would that be? I can just ride the Arcanine to school, or get a Pidgeot, and I'm riding Pidgeot to school. It's like in the games. That'd be so cool.
I feel like
and
they
then
would
just make card arts of that. So it's like kind of like thrown back to my nostalgia of like, man, if Pokemon, if that could be me, you know, when I was a kid. That's where like that hits it for me when I see really cool stuff like that.
It's too cool. Yeah, it's a cool thought, and that like imagination it triggers. That's part of why we love it, right?
Definitely,
A swing it. You know, you're in it because you love it. It's cool.
And I bet the artists enjoy it too. I bet the artists are like,
I hope so.
This is what I've always wanted to draw. Yes, please. Like, let me go crazy. Let me go wild.
It feels like they put a lot of love into these artworks right now. There's some of them that they're putting way too many hours in. Like they're definitely like really putting effort into it. Yeah, I know they're not getting paid for.
And how many new artists are they getting? And they're just absolutely crushing it and doing amazing arts. There's
vast array. Yeah, there is.
Some of these cards are these artists for Pokemon's very first things that they've ever drawn. Some of these first sets that they've already drawn for, and they do these amazing arts. You know, it just goes to show how many great artists are that love Pokemon. And yeah, they're going to draw this stuff anyways, so you may as well put it on a damn card and pay them for it. Involved.
Yeah, they have their own style. Utilize it. Go for it. Love it. All right, you want to jump into the next one?
Pokeneer. Pokeneer's great. Always in the chat and talking. People too often confuse market manipulation with people just trying to show off their stuff. That hits for somebody that's influencer like yourself, with somebody that's
you.
I mean, lesser to, I guess. Well, yeah, sure, yeah, but do you ever feel like with you, hey, I don't want to show something off because it's going to make people go after it? Or you ever feel that way when you?
I'm not even really doing mail day videos anymore, honestly.
Yeah, I forgot you don't make content. That's right. Yeah. So I guess if you did though, would you have any concern about that? Showing off like maybe a cool Pikachu or a rare Pikachu, and you're like, man.
I think the problem for me personally is I don't know where the line is where it goes from showing my friends to showing strangers that might influence the market. I don't know if that's 100 subscribers, 1,000, 20,000. I don't know where does it jump from what I was doing, which was showing my friends my cards and like hoping other people would want to talk about them and see them and stuff, to showing what I did to random people on the internet and then possibly going hunting for them. I don't know where that stops and starts and stuff. And that makes me a little bit wary because I felt a bit gross. There was a couple of YouTubers that I was watching that I unsubscribed to because I felt a little bit gross that like they were purposefully doing that. And I didn't feel good about that. It just felt a bit weird. And then it made me think, I don't want people feeling like that about me. And I don't know. There's the confuse with people just trying to show off the stuff is tricky too, because some people do market manipulate. So like, and they may seem like they're showing off the stuff. So sometimes it's hard to know as a viewer where that line is too, not even just as a content creator. I just think it's all too blurry. And honestly, I want to see it. Like if you're buying stuff, I want to see it. Like show me. Yeah. Like I don't care if you're manipulating me, like whatever. But I know that there are people out there that maybe don't have as much critical thinking or think for themselves. They just see the dollar sign that they pop up on the screen and go, "This is $200. This is gonna go up. This is awesome. I love this." and then they go buy it because they think this person that knows what they're talking about, because most of them do. That's why they bought the card. I don't know. There's just too many examples of like me feeling a bit gross about people purposefully doing it, but people also sharing what they're getting in their collections, and which I want to see. I really want to see that stuff. I love it. I mean, you could show stuff in your store, right? Like you go through, these are the slabs I've got, these are the prices.
Yeah, but that is literally me actually wanting to market manipulate because I want to sell those things. So
What
it
is
would be
that?
market manipulation.
Is it manipulation?
I don't know, but it's definitely advertising.
It's advertising. So is advertising manipulation? If tied,
I don't know. Would people be upset? Do you think if I show off, hey, I got this cool slab in, who wants it?
YouTubers do it.
Absolutely, they do
all the time.
So, like, what?
I don't. Who is it you're saying it to? I think that's a part of it. I really do think that's a part of it. Like, and do you have 10 subscribers? Do you have 10,000? I don't know. I don't know where it's at. It's a very blurry line situation for me that it's very hard to wrap my head around.
It's difficult, and it is something that I think about. You know, when I go to film something, or if I go to do talk about a set, or talk about even my top 10 alt arts, whatever I did. You know, I thought about that, but yeah. At what point am I just talking about shit that I like and stuff that I think is cool? And why should I not be allowed to talk about stuff that I think is cool? You know,
I think that video was one of my favorite ones from you this year. I didn't feel manipulated. I genuinely enjoyed you talking about the cards that you were loving and like the artworks and things that I was almost like feeling validated by it.
Sure.
I should have told you. I don't know if I even messaged you about it, but like that, I really enjoyed that video a lot. Like that kind of stuff for me is cool. I don't know how many other people, I don't know what the views was like. Don't care. I don't think it matters. For me, I think that was awesome. I didn't feel manipulated at all.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. But
welcome.
I think that we put a lot of words in people's mouths that have big followings, where you want them to have personality, you want them to know their opinion, they want to share their opinions. That's why they made a YouTube channel, is so they could talk about the things that they love so much. And if Real Breaking Nate wants to show off a binder and talk about the cards that he loves, why should he feel ashamed about that? Or why should we shame him because he wants to do that?
Collector too, right?
I would hope so. That's the thing. It's like, what makes it okay for some people to do it and other people not to? Or why? Context, right? I mean, we don't know the motivations behind it, but I think Pokeneer is absolutely correct. We insinuate a lot more, and people forget. Guys, they're printing so many cards.
So many
damn cards. Yes, there are few listings for some of the things that are very expensive and rare, and things that are slabbed that are obviously, a handful of them exist, and that can, there may be one or two on the market, and you can buy them out, and then the price goes crazy, right? But if I'm just flipping through a binder, or somebody's flipping through a binder, and they say, "Hey, I love this card," come on, there's probably, tens of thousands of copies of that card out there. Let's all just relax a little bit. It's gonna be okay. And if they manipulate the market, it's gonna be for like 2 weeks, because as soon as somebody watches the video, they're gonna say, "Well, shit, I got that card. I'm gonna sell mine."
Yep.
And it all goes back to how it was. So it's Pokeneer is absolutely correct. There's too many people that cry wolf about that kind of stuff, when in reality the market's so damn big. There's so many people want to and buy and collect the same kind of stuff. There's so many copies of it out there. It's okay. People should be able to make content without people thinking there's any sort of maliciousness to it.
there is another, just to play devil's advocate a little bit as well.
Okay, push back.
There is maybe not even pushback to you, maybe just kind of like, I don't know. I'll just say it. I think I enjoy the manipulation a little bit, and I don't mean that in a kinky way. I mean quite literally. There's been videos that I have seen quite a while back when I first started getting back into the hobby, where I was like, "Wait, I haven't seen this card before. That's one that I like. I'm now aware of it, and I want to buy it." Is that manipulated?
You got manipulated, and you're thankful for it.
I was happy about it.
You're happy about
genuinely.
Huh.
So is that a bad effect? Like, who loses there? Like, where's the negative effect from the manipulate? Like, there's a negative connotation, but
is there a loser?
Right? Like, I'm sure there's some, but like for me, there's been instances where I've seen stuff, I've gone and bought it and I've made money, or I've added it to my collection, or I've done this with it or whatever, and it's been like a positive experience. So
right.
There's also a little bit of that, honestly. Now I'm, kind of letting it stew a little bit in my brain thinking about it. But that's a very big topic. That's definitely a spicy topic, and I think there's a lot.
Yeah. And you can find examples where it was obvious manipulation, or there definitely was things that happened and set off a chain reaction of things. Absolutely, yes. But maybe early on when things were booming and we had a lot of newer people in the hobby, that was a little bit more susceptible. Now it's kind of like, all right, if you're watching my channel, nobody's stumbling upon my channel. No one's like, who's this guy? Maybe I don't know. But nobody's stumbling upon like whoever's like just because PK's the next question. No one's going on PK's channel and being like, oh shoot, he's pumping this card. That's a play. I'm gonna go out and buy all that stuff. That's just we are past that point, I think. Unless there's like a huge another resurgence of like new people coming in, then I think we have to be and content creators have to be mindful of that kind of thing, that they do play a role in that. But if people want to show off their cards, sometimes it's beneficial, and you like exactly like with you, like I'm just showing you something that I think is cool, and then if you think it's cool too, then I guess you got manipulated. Sorry, but you're happy for it. So is there a loser in that scenario? No.
I wonder if, kind of to what you're saying there, I wonder if I manipulated the market a little bit when I showed. I'm having a bit of a self-reflection here. I showed when I got PSA to start grading the old made cards, and people saw that and ran with it, and now a lot of people did it. Like, I was the first person to do it. People start doing it. People have, yikes. I mean, seriously, but like, people have made money from selling old made.
You absolutely did. You became the villain. How does it feel?
I'm
calling you out on your own podcast. Yes,
you realizing this.
That was all you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're a bigger influencer than I am in that regard. Look at you.
They are everywhere. It's crazy. But no, I think I think I maybe kind of did a little bit, even if it was just a few people, and then they spread it out, whatever. I don't know how it looks, but
it started with you. You're patient zero.
Oh, that feels gross.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, even though it's good, I still feel like
it's gross but good.
Did I do something bad? I don't know.
Do you feel bad?
No.
Okay, then it's not bad.
I feel like I should feel bad though. I don't know. That's weird. I'm so confused right now. Ugh.
Weird.
Okay.
We have to do some therapy about that.
Let's go next. Yeah, I need that.
We're just moving on. Okay. We can move on.
I can't. Well, PK actually, he was one of the very first to jump on it. He was smart about it. He was
still doing it. He was moving that stuff in Charlotte. That stuff was flying.
Yeah, I'm glad. See, that makes me feel good that like people are enjoying it, seeking it out, buying it, but also like my
But what if the
friends
people saw your
selling
video and
it.
they're like, "Man, I gotta find those cards," and they bought it from shop, and then they're like,
Oh no, don't tell me that. Oh my god, I didn't think about that. Oh, Mason.
"It's a
Oh,
complex,
this is too much for me right now.
world to be on YouTube."
Whew. Okay, so I'm just gonna play it
I
naive and
Yeah,
say that it was all PK.
it's fine.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
blame him.
we can blame PK. PK's probably okay with it. He'll
Yeah,
shoulder that burden,
he made money. I'm happy for him. He's good. He
and
had
I
a good
bet
experience.
I bet he's happy.
Cam, Z&G Emporium Cam,
Yeah,
you know him, right? He bought Squirtle, old made from me, the first ever graded Squirtle, old made card. He bought it from me. I gave him a very good deal. And yeah, that's like cool to me that like a friend, someone I consider a friend, someone that I like has that like first of something that, I don't know. It's too emotional about this hobby, I guess. I don't know. Too sentimental. All right, so
business.
yeah, I don't know. So PK said this actually quite. I think this is a really good one for you. I want to
We
ask
can
you.
unpack this really good.
I want to ask you this one. So he said the vast majority of people who can't make money in Pokemon during this crazy hype will never make money in Pokemon. But just before you answer, I think the most interesting thing to me in that is that he thinks we're still in a crazy hype. Is what it sounds like in that, which I thought it had chilled out a little bit, but he had much better taste of current market, being in Charlotte just now with you. So, like, what's your thoughts? You've seen store, you've seen online, you've seen in person at events, like you've seen areas of the market most people haven't experienced in such a short time frame. Where are we at with that? Like, do you think that's true about people in this hype right now and ever doing anything?
So this is not even related to the question, but you're just asking it. Is this hype still as big as, or is it still a hyper state right now? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, because I think that plays a part into what the spice topic really is.
Yes. We are, if you compare it to pre-boom and post-boom, we are still exponentially higher. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like to think of it as like a timeline or a spectrum of hype. If we have like a hype rating from like a 1 to 10, if we were like, maybe Hidden Fates would have been like an 8 on the hype, and then any normal standard set would have been like a 4 or 5. Kind of, if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you don't know anything about it. Pokemon Go comes along and puts us at like a 9 or 10. Actually, the scale has to change even at the boom, because the boom is like 10 to 10, right? Like absolutely, like never before seen, right? Mm-hmm. So even like things that we thought were a boom were like not, or a hype, were not even as hype, because we didn't even know how hype we could get from the past couple of years. So yeah. So if you still think about like, okay, that was the 10 of 10, right? That was the 10. That's the highest thing we know. That's the biggest hype moment we could ever have. I would say that we still, on a regular basis at any given time, we're still at like 7-ish range. I absolutely think so. Wow. We are still like a notch lower than like, I think of like 151. 151 has been just
insane.
Again, a huge like boom, and bringing people in, and a lot of people that were kind of out of it and now back into it, and building binders. I see your binder up there. How fully is that binder? How close are we?
I'm gonna talk to you about that, because
I
only opened a few packs. I have some packs saved. I'm gonna open with, I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal. I'm gonna open a few this week or next with a YouTuber,
with a special guest.
a Pokemon YouTuber, but also on, I think it's the 27th, towards the end of the month, on a non-Pokemon YouTuber's channel. I'm going to be live opening some more packs with them. So I'll be sharing that in Discord. So I'm trying to save them for them because it's such a fun set to open. I'm trying not to open too much myself, but I do have, I can see I got a case up there, and I got some bundles. I got the poster thing, and I opened the binder collection and the packs in that. And I started putting the cards in, and I like felt like a kid again. It's like it's 151. I was like, oh my god, I got Squirtle, and I was going through all these Pokemon, and I didn't have any doubles really of anything. It was like all spread out throughout the binder. I for the first time in a while genuinely enjoyed, like, it didn't feel like a task to put something in a binder. I was like enjoying finding where I was going to put it in the spot. And
so
I felt
was
good.
151 on the hype scale? Where were you about 151?
I would say a solid like 8, like really up there.
See, that's
like seriously hyped.
Yeah, and you're not alone. There's like everybody feels that same way. So I think we're still living it. Yeah, Paldea Evolve, Scarlet and Violet era has been, more mellow. But are we still way up there? Absolutely. We're still way higher than what we were pre-boom. Absolutely. 100%. So yeah, we are in hype. We are definitely in still. If we were a balloon, we may have deflated, but we're still flying. We're still full of helium.
Okay, so on that note, knowing we're in a good spot, still like there's demand, right? That's what we're saying. Definitely. There's demand.
Yes.
Do you think there's a lot of people not making money still right now? And that definitely, obviously, as to what PG was saying, like definitely won't make money if it starts to die down. Because if we're at 7, there's a lot of wiggle room for decline there, right?
I'm going to counter PK's spicy comment with my own spicy comment.
Here for it.
A lot of the people in the hobby buying things, they don't care that they make money or not. They don't care. Like, they don't care about making value or but they're buying something if it has a good value to it.
Yeah.
They want the damn cards. They just want them. They just want them. It's not about making money. There are some people out there that I'm sure have sold things that are true collectors that maybe, hey, I thought this card was cool. It's fine, but I want to buy something else. So I'm going to sell this card that that had value or has value. And, or maybe they lose value on it, but they still want to sell it, right? Because they want to get something else.
Right.
My entire business is based off of that, of people trading things into me to buy something else. Like, that's why game stores exist and why that's how we make money, right? So there's plenty of people out there that are perfectly happy buying something at a good value or a decent value, whatever it is, and later on being like, you know what, this made me happy. I'm fulfilled. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having it, but I really want this other thing, so I'm gonna move this on, even if it's at a loss, to get something else.
Yeah,
that's and sure, if there's plenty of people out there that probably bought something to flip, and then the market went, and then it didn't pan out, right? There's plenty of things that how many people bought into Obsidian Flames thinking like, oh, it's got Charizards in it, it's gonna be huge. This guy did. I still have 130 ETBs sitting in the back room. Whoopsies. I've lost money on Obsidian Flames, yes, but that's part of what I do.
Yeah.
For other people, it's not a business to them. It's just like, I don't even know if they track it or if they even worry about that kind of thing. Especially with people go to sell something, they're done with that item. They don't want it anymore. Whatever value they can get out of it, they're happy to get because they've exhausted their enjoyment or their fulfillment or value out of it. So here you go, CardNAll Gaming. Whatever you want to give me for this is fine. I'm going to put it towards the next thing anyways that I actually do want. So that being said, there's tons of opportunities for people to make money. say what you will about the Van Gogh stuff. If that was we'll see how that turns out with majority of people, right? And if they grade it and they get 7s and they get like, oh shit, in 2 months, but we'll see, right? But yeah, there's still plenty of opportunity to flip things and sell things, and if you're conscious and aware of watching things and staying on top of drops and getting things at discount and stuff like that. Yes, there's plenty of people out there that are making money, even casually, just as collectors, just by watching them, looking for good deals that are out there. And I think that if you don't make money in this hobby, but you are still enjoying it, that's okay. It doesn't have to be about that. And for a majority of people, it probably isn't about that. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. This isn't to counter PKs or anything, but I'm just saying this. There's a different view, or there's a different take from the casuals, the normies, whatever you want to call them, that out there that have and are buying Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think what you were talking about, for me, there's also a part that builds into it in my head of like volume, because most people aren't spending hundreds or thousands a month on ETBs or this or that, like a store or
definitely, yeah,
someone retail style reselling style is doing. They're happy to lose $50 on an ETB because it's like $50, it's their hobby, and most people will spend that going out for a meal, having a nice lunch, or I don't know, going fishing, whatever your hobby is. Most people lose money in their hobby anyway. That's just part of like the price to pay to enjoy life, the comforts, the enjoyments they have. This is an enjoyment of having it. Opening it alone is an experience like people pay for. So I could see completely what you're saying and getting rid of that after you've opened it, because the enjoyment for that person is already over. They've got it. It's done.
Yeah.
Like that part's over. And they're not worried because they haven't dropped $5,000 into it on the opening. They've just opened a few boxes or a few packs. So easier to stomach, I guess, would sum it up what I'm saying. But I do think he's right that the people that are trying to make money,
if
and
that is your goal,
make money,
yes.
Yeah, they're probably never going to make money on Pokemon. Yeah, and if they do, it's because they've got grit and they've tried to be hungry and gritty and just pushed and figured it out. And I think that's not the majority of people that he references.
Definitely, yes. Be that as may, and all the opportunities that are out there, it is very easy to think something is a good value, and then we go, oh shit, and it not be a good value. These Pokemon TCG expensive briefcase things, we could all be looking at that and be like, damn, that's going to be a killer. That's going to be awesome. And then they could be sitting on a pallet in the middle of Target on Black Friday for 50% off, and then what happens? Then what? So Charizard UPC was like, yeah, I'm going to buy this as it's going to be like Celebrations, and we all got dumped on that. So it happens. Even to people that their motivation is to make money, it can happen. So
even a dozen of those is, that's $5,000, right? Like that's a lot of money.
Kind of thinking of the multiple times over what even like compared to a booster box. Yeah, that's
you could do a lot of other stuff with that. Yeah.
And if you take an L, starts compounding, being a big L. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what people do with the stuff inside. If this is something that people are going to try and keep sealed and like help retain value, if people are just going to crack, get the cards graded, try and sell them raw if they're off center or whatever. Like there's a little bit of like the unknown at the moment, I think, but we're very close. It's not going to be long until we know. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah, we're like what a month out? Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, God knows how it's October. It's crazy. Do you want to wrap the last one? You want to do that one?
Another one by Shug Nasty? Absolutely. This isn't even like, this is just like a fact. This is like this is a statement. This is what you should be doing. If you're not doing this, you're I don't even think it's cheating. You know, this is a thing. Shug Nasty says, I always like my own spicy comment to increase my chances each week. 100%. Absolutely. Ain't no shame in that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, 100%. I just clicked like on all of them. I think it's awesome. I love seeing people comment on there and being involved. I've genuinely enjoyed that part of it immensely this year. Is just seeing it, like what people have to say and reactions, and I love it. I live for that. It's definitely the highlight of my week. Outside of actually getting to talk with Josh, you know, the effects of it and your guys' responses. I love it. So when I plead for you to leave spicy topics and for you to get in that comments, please do it for me. Like selfishly, I just enjoy it so much. So thank you. And yeah, I agree, Shug Nasty, like everyone, just click like, enjoy
it's okay.
it.
You can do it. You hit the button. It's okay.
Yeah, don't feel bad about it. But let's wrap up. Mason, I've genuinely very much enjoyed you staying and doing this tonight for
Thank
everyone.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed talking with you. This was fantastic. I feel definitely imposter syndrome getting you on here. You're a superstar. I've always looked up to you and idolized you, so I appreciate it. I love you. You're a rock star, so thank you.
Literally anytime anybody wants me to be on their channel, like whatever, get in a Discord with me, they want to talk to me about Pokemon, that is why I live.
Love it.
I would want to do nothing else than I wish I could make a living just talking to people about Pokemon, because
yeah, same.
It's so much fun. So any chance I get to spread the gospel, go to do an away game and do a live or a podcast or whatever it is, I'm all about it. So I appreciate any way they would have me on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, let's wrap. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like I said, please jump in that comments, leave your spicy topic, click a thumbs up on the ones you enjoy.
Do it for
me. Do it for me.
If
Give us a thumbs up on the video.
If Oak was really your if Oak is really never forget, you do that for him. So just throwing it out there.
I've giggled so much this. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks, Mason.
Thanks, Oak.
See you guys.